Hello everyone, let's solve today's daily problem. Maximum average pass ratio. I have solved it before, let me see. Okay, it was last year. So there is a school that has a class of students. Each class will have a final exam. You are given a 2D integer array classes where classes of I is the pass. Okay. Beforehand that ith class there are total I students but only pass the exam. You're given an integer extra students. Another extra brilliant students guaranteed to pass. Okay. Average pass ratio of all the classes. The pass ratio of a class is equal to the number of students of the class that will pass the exam divided by the total number of students of the class. The average pass ratio is the sum of the pass ratios of all the classes. Okay, right. So the first thing that comes to my mind is let's open this. So let's say we have okay one, two, three, five, and two, two. And the extra students you might have to the first class, okay? And here the extra students we may have to assign them to different classes, right? So we have to do this one at a time. So if our extra student is one, we have to calculate the maximum. Uh, so our pass ratio would be 1 by 2, 3 by 5, and so on. So our fail ratio would be 1 by 2 and 2 by 5. So 2 divided by 5 and so on. So we need to minimize the fail ratio. Okay. So if we assume, so we can construct a minimum heap where we can store the fail. Okay, we need the difference, right? So if we add one, that would be 3 by 6. Sorry, 2 by 6. So we need to maximize the difference in pass ratio. So we need to maximize, basically if it's 3 by 5, it would be 4 divided by 6 minus 3 by 5. And this should be maximum. And we choose the maximum and do the repeat the intent, right? Okay. So let's okay, so for pass comma for pass, comma, total in classes. So we heap q dot heap push, and then we pass in this minus this. So that would be um so the diff is equal to pass plus 1 divided by total plus 1, and then current is equal to pass divided by total, and then we pass in the difference and the current, and we need the maximum difference, right? So let's pass in the negative of this, and let's just print out our heat and see if it's working. Okay, none is not a valid. Okay, can't return none. So let's just return 0 for now. Right. So this is okay. So minus. Okay, so first one is 3 by 5. 2 by 3 and 4 by 6. Okay, then we also have to subtract this. We need to subtract the current one along with that. So minus, wait. So to subtract the current one here. Right. So, okay. This seems right. Right. And now what we're going to do is for I and range. Okay. Now we so diff comma, but when you numerator and denominator separately, just a new denom. Okay. Comma. Okay, so we have the maximum difference. Now all we have to do is change the cost and total. So cost plus equal to 1, total plus equal to 1, and then we need the same logic again. And then we push it back into the heap. Okay. And when can we break out? If it's 0, we just break out. So if it's 1, we can just break out. So if this thing is a 0, okay, so if difference is, no, no, if the difference is equal to 0, then we break. Let's print out the heap again. Three by five, 2 by 3. 6.62. Wait, so what is the answer for this? 2 extra students to the first class. This is not, I don't get it, the past section. You want to send to a class and do it. Okay, let's just try this now. So result is equal to sum of and wait, and x. Just give me a second. Okay, so if we, how do I do it using lambda? Lambda x such that yeah, and now let's try submitting it. Okay, that was the solution. No, I was just trying to use lambda for this instead of doing it in a loop. It's the same thing. So result is equal to sum of lambda x such that x one x of two or x and heap. Does this work? Wait, let me just Google this. How do I do this? Okay, so sum. Right. My bad, my bad. Yeah, now this should work. Wait, what? Yeah, I just saw it divided by n. Yeah. Okay. Thank you for watching. That was the solution.